Two men journey to the bars and restaurants of Scandinavia to find amazing beers, always with the same question.
Hey, what's on tap?
It's time to find out.
It's the end of another year.
End of the party. And it's not New Year's, but the fireworks are...
Well, it's the end of the year for us because the next episode will come out on January 1st.
Yes.
And that will be the first episode of the new year.
Exactly.
I don't think this ever happened before, that we've had the first episode line up with the...
No, it's so strange that the passage of time and the Gregorian calendar works in such mysterious ways.
That's insane.
But usually the end of year is way closer to New Year's Eve.
Yeah. It's usually... We usually have a week in between, or at least... Yeah, it's usually a week in between, or at least a few days in between. But this year, the 25th is Thursday, and then New Year's Day is the first day.
So we had...
Yeah, the following week, so...
Exactly. So we're just recovering from the Christmas calendar, which was a lot of fun. If you skipped it, then shame on you.
No one skipped it. Why would you skip it and then be like, you know what, I'm only going to pick up the Christmas episode. I'm skipping over all the other...
They could skip the 50th episodes and then just go for end of year.
They could, yeah, because they were like, well, that's where the real excitement is. That's where they bring the money beers, you know.
Yeah.
Is the big money beers.
Exactly.
Is the last episode of the year. So it is Christmas Day. Technically, it is Christmas. So I know Swedes celebrate Christmas on Christmas Eve.
Yes.
But Christmas Day is the 25th. Yeah. And I had this discussion quite often with what day Christmas is. And I will completely concede that celebrating on the 24th is celebrating Christmas Eve, but the 25th is technically Christmas Day. So it's a weird thing. I think Sweden is one of the few countries that celebrates Christmas on the 24th.
Yeah.
Not a lot of other countries do.
Is it that uncommon? I don't know.
It's actually quite uncommon. For countries to celebrate Christmas, I think most of them do it on the 25th, whereas Swedes have a really fun thing. I love this about Sweden. It's somewhere a long time ago, long in the way back, Swedes had realized, hey, you know what? We all have this day off. Let's celebrate the evening before, so that way we can spend the day of recovering from our hangover.
Yes.
And not having to go to work.
Exactly. It's the same with a lot of these things.
Right. So all Swedes, it's so much fun. They always celebrate the day before the holiday, not the day of the holiday. And that's quite unique.
Yeah. So the 1st of May
is a cultural thing, you know.
So the 1st of May is a day off because of like workers' rights and yay, fight against the machine. But that's when you're supposed to go out and protest against injustices in the world. You're not supposed to drink then. So you drink the day before on Walpurgis Eve. So you're hungover when you go out and protest against.
It's much more fun to protest that way.
Yes.
Because you're already kind of pissed off. You're out and you're hungover. And it makes you a lot more agitated. So
yes,
it's really the perfect combination. But yeah, so even midsummer, you celebrate it on the eve, not on the day. That's always fun too.
Thank you.
So yeah, I love that about Sweden. But today we have 2 beers, of course. We had the first one, the beer that Martin brought, which was the 3F beer.
Yeah, I brought a Fonteinen. I don't want to disappoint my...
And this is exciting. This is a beer that we have both had many times.
Yes. Do you want me to go into the spiel?
Let's do this. Let's get into it.
It's a beer I've talked about like in passing in a lot of episodes. It is just a regular Fonteinen Oude Gueuze from the season of 1718. It's the blend 61. And what makes it special is both that it has like special honey with the little bee symbol, but also that it was aged on, I want to say Oloroso casks.
I want to say you're correct.
Or sherry casks, maybe is the correct. But the thing about this one is, Systembolaget has this like core beer, the Fonteinen Oude Gueuze. They have it on the shelves, and during this time, and Systembolaget stores require you to keep sending beers. If you run out, you will lose your regular spot.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're more likely to qualify for the one-offs. Now we will do a temporary little release, oh so quaint. But if you want to be in the core, you need to keep supplying beers. And they sold so many of the Fonteinen Oude Gueuze that they said to the brewery, ship beer now. We need to stock shelves. And Fonteinen had to basically ship the majority of this blend. It's such a special blend. It has both the honey addition and the special sherry cask aging. And most of it went to Systembolaget. Yeah. So I just kept stocking up on it because
I think I still have like 3 bottles downstairs.
I have more than 6 bottles remaining.
Yeah.
Because
it was so affordable.
Yes.
And they didn't price it differently from the regular bottle. So they were selling it at the regular bottle cost. And so what you would do is when you go to Systembolaget, you would go and you would look because there's this little bee in the corner and you would look for the bee and those are the ones you'd buy. And like you said, they shipped almost the entire production to Sweden. And it was on the shelves for quite a while.
Yes, exactly. Because Systembolaget requires a large, volume.
Yeah,
and it was aged in 40-year-old Oloroso sherry casks. So in all honesty, it is Zenne light.
Yeah,
it's basically Zenne in an Oude Gueuze packaging, which makes it a lot of fun. And we've had it I think at least once per year in some form.
Yeah, I think this will probably be my 7th or 8th time to try this. And it is just a great beer. It is so outstanding. I haven't had it in a couple of years, I think. So
there's a risk that we will say the same things like we do every time we drink a 3F beer, but I figured the end of year episode, we will have more stuff to talk about. So let's try it.
Oh, definitely. It smells...
It does smell of lemons and
a
little got that green apples.
Yeah, that 3F house blend smell. It just smells absolutely great.
But also the little extra bonus of that Oloroso cask.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Well, it's just so smooth. It's so balanced. There's just a slight tartness to it. Like you get the lemon, kind of Meyer lemon in there. It doesn't overwhelm. I really enjoy this beer, and this has really held up over time.
Yes, it really has. This will be my 14th time having it. It's just that good.
Well, so how do you think it's held up? Do you think it's getting better with age, or do you feel like it peaked and then you're kind of like...
It's difficult to say because my highest ratings I gave to it early, but then it was also the what do you call it when something is new and you're excited about it, like the
right. So the excitement of it and the hype is...
yeah, exactly. When we figured out that wow, we are getting Oloroso barrel aged spring honey added on the shelves, so then it got higher ratings. Then a few years later, it decreased just a tiny bit.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking from almost a 5, definitely 4.75. It decreased down to 4.5. Then like last year, 1 or 2 bottles were up on the 4.75 level again. And this one is either a 4.5 or a weak 4.75.
So about a year ago, you had this.
Yeah.
And you gave it a 4.6.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then before that, probably 4.7.
Probably. I got to go scroll through all of my friend check-ins here, and there's a lot. This is, of course, very popular here, and there's a lot of people check this in. But every couple of years you have friends checking this in. So the last time you had it, you gave it a 4.7.
Yeah.
You have so this would be, you have 5 left. No, 6 left.
Yeah, it's probably true.
Right, because then you had 7, and then you had, this is 6, so then you have 5 left.
Yeah. Seems reasonable.
Yeah. Well.
Either a strong 4.5 or a weak 4.7. For 75.
Yeah.
That's somewhere where I put it.
I had to agree. Yep. It's one that once it opens up a little bit, it really balances.
Yeah.
It's super clean finish, very, very tasty. And then it's a 6%. So So you could easily, just snack on this bottle pretty easily. And I think it's just an absolutely wonderful beer. I loved it when I had it in 2019 for the first time. And I think it's just holding up beautifully. So I'm also going to give it a 4.5.
Nice. I'm glad.
Yeah, me too, because it was great.
And then you have a beer from a brewery that is well known.
Yes. So the Bruery, I got to say, I have not been loving them of late, simply because I find a lot of their beers to be over barrel aged.
Yeah.
And so high ABV that they're almost undrinkably unbalanced. So we've had the Three's Cocompany before, and we quite enjoyed it. And then this became the barrel-aged version of that. And I thought, you know what? That is a lot of fun. And for some reason, in the month of November, it feels like they emptied the entire leftovers of Bruery and just been dumping them in Sweden. Anywhere between like $20 for a 375 bottle
to like $80.
I don't think any of them were that expensive, but they were like $50, I think, was the upper limit for a 750 milliliter bottle. They're quite expensive, but I mean, you're talking like Chocolate Rain, you're talking Black Tuesday, every like 375 variant you could think of has been dumped on the market. So like every week, twice a week, there's been somewhere between 3 to 5 brewery beers that came out in the month of November.
It was really strange.
Yeah.
The strangest one I tried to buy, but it got sold out before I made it to it, like Hoarders Society, which is so strange because that's supposed to be for the members.
Right. It's not supposed to be available on the open market even. So that means that the brewery is really on hard times is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Because they're just really dumping everything out there to try to get stuff.
Exactly. So not only are they selling membership exclusive bottles, they're selling them in the Swedish National Monopoly Store.
It's well, they are special orders, so they aren't like on the shelf.
Sure. It's an importer that has gotten them listed.
But the importer's really like going ham. I mean, they are pumping that shit hard. And I mean, lucky us, I guess. So this is bourbon barrel-aged imperial stout with coconut, vanilla beans, milk, sugar, and oat milk, coming in at 13.7% ABV. Yeah.
And we don't know the barrel, right?
They did not say so on here. Maybe they have it maybe it's under this big-ass sticker on the back of but then I have to peel it off, and that's going to take some time. So let's get into this beer while I try to peel this sticker.
Cheers.
Cheers. Ooh, that's got some marshmallow notes to it. It's like toasted marshmallow. Ooh, wow. That is really good.
Let's see.
I'm not upset with that at all.
I found it now on Bourbon Barrel.
Yes.
You said that.
Yes.
Then I asked, do we know what kind of barrels they are? And you were like, no, we don't.
Not that you meant like specifically what kind of bourbons. I thought, no, that maybe you were asking, like, is it like Heaven's Hill or Wild Turkey or whatnot? But no, it's bourbon.
A proper follow-up question. But I missed that you said bourbon barrel. Just my brain only heard barrel aged. It's good. It's really easily drinkable.
It is. For a brewery beer, this is extremely smooth, extremely flavorful, and doesn't like have an alcohol punch to it at all, which has been a bit of a turnoff for me, where I found a lot of their beers too barrel aged and too boozy. So when you're getting not Black Rain, Black Tuesday, and it's coming in at like 18-20%, and you're just like, this is just gonna burn. There's no flavor on this other than pure grain alcohol.
So, some years it has burned. Some years it has been surprisingly smooth. It's a weird one. But this one is nice. They probably chose some good bourbon barrel aged bourbon barrels to really smooth it out.
Yeah, because again, you're getting this like burnt sugar kind of flavor, which I really like. It's like a creme brulee kind of burnt sugar kind of flavor, combined with the vanilla. I wish the coconut was a little more forward. That's kind of my complaint. My only complaint here is that the coconut's a little recessive, but otherwise this is very, very drinkable.
Yeah, 4.5.
Yeah, easy 4.5 for me.
Yeah. But then I'm disregarding the fact that it says coconut and it should have more coconut. I'm going more on flavor.
Right. So if it had coconut to it,
475.
could be even a 5.
Yeah,
honestly.
yes.
It could be an easy 5. But there's just not enough coconut here to really validate the me as a flavor profile.
Exactly. We need to be a little bit honest there. That
Yeah.
Don't write stuff on the label that you then can't provide.
Right. And we've had the discussion many times over the years. But this is really good. I am really glad that I got this for the end of the year. So
It's really good. If you are a style Puritan and everything on the label needs to be in the beer, then you need to hold your hands over your eyes and just enjoy it.
because we both had
The regular.
yeah, and so just looking that up real quick. I gave that one a 4.25, and you probably gave it something similar to that.
I've had the barrel-aged 2020 in 2022, and I gave it a 4.3. So this one is better.
The barrel-aged one.
Yeah.
Before. All right. I was just talking about the regular version.
The regular version, 4.25 in 2021 with you.
Ooh.
Hooray! Yay!
Maybe both gave it a 4.25 at that.
Yeah. But it's nice. But the beers aside, what have you thought about this year in terms of beer?
It's been good overall. I think we've tried a lot of really great stuff. The downturn of the brewing industry, of course, has been kind of unfortunate.
A lot of news of breweries
A lot of breweries closing, a lot of breweries that are quite big on hard times, a lot of small breweries just can't hold on. Even in Sweden, we've lost some really great breweries here. And of course, that's always sad. I think 2026 is going to see a further consolidation of the beer industry. I think we're going to see more closings, unfortunately, and we're going to lose some real big brewers that we kind of hurt a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. This year, we in southern Sweden, we lost the Great Swedish Beer Festival. The first news was we're skipping this year, but then I heard some news we're skipping everything.
Yeah. They came out with a Facebook post that says, "So long and thanks for all the fish."
Yeah.
Hey, it's been great, but we're moving on to things. And to be fair, they are heavily involved with Heliga now.
Yeah.
And they're opening, I think, 2 new locations for them. So
Exactly. And
I can see why that would not be,
right. Exactly.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to open a restaurant than it is to put on a beer festival.
But we saw Bruery in the city of Helsingborg that last year was supposed to be the last year. And then they realized, it's so much fun. And I think they got some backing from
I think it was the last year that they were going to do it. And then the city of Helsingborg was like,
how can we help?
Right. The city of Helsingborg was like, you guys supply a lot of revenue into the city during that weekend. Let's help you underwrite your cost. I think that's what helped bring it back.
So I went to this year's Bruery, and it was a lot of fun. It was a good event with good beers and breweries. I went to the MBCC in Copenhagen, and that was a really good showing as well with good breweries. And both of these festivals, I managed to try a surprising amount of beers.
That's not surprising at all, honestly. I've seen you at beer festivals, and you're kind of good.
They're running it.
You're going to get into this frenzy of this Bacchanalian frenzy where you're just like,
need to try
right, willing to rip arms off people if you can to get the chicks.
Yeah, and for MBCC, it was so strange. They for the first time they had created untapped badges for different milestones, like your 50th MBCC beer, your 100th, 200th, 500th. And then we saw that they had created an 800 check-in badge, which was offensive because me and the Halmstad friends, we held the record for like 757.
Mm-hmm.
That's the highest anyone has ever tried. How dare you create an 800 badge?
Honestly, it's almost impossible to get because it's not quite that many beers, but it's right at that number of beers.
Yeah. So the way we did reach that number, but not on unique beers. The thing is, when that festival nears the end, many breweries will have one of their old beers still on tap, and they will switch out the whatever runs out. So they will have one new and one old. And if you are a bunch of people who go to this, like try as many as beers as possible together, you will give someone 2 glasses and tell them, go to Three Sons and get one of each, because they have 2 taps, 2 drafts. And that person will go there with 2 glasses, and sometimes they will have a line behind them. So they will just say one of each. And one will be the new beer. The other one will be the beer we tried an hour ago.
Mm.
But it's easier to just say one of each than to say, oh, I just want that one, maybe not this one. Me.
Well, I mean, to be fair, they did follow instructions.
Yes, yeah, I did the same thing. It's just easier. One of each. We'll think about this later. And then you come back with this beer, and we tried those again. The one that is now technically a duplicate, we tried again. So that's how we
That makes sense.
yeah, just the flow.
I mean, how many people could have gotten 800 ticks? There could have only been maybe 5 to 10 people the entire festival that got that many.
We were 3 in our group who made it, and we saw, I think, 2 or 3 other people. They had included everything they drank in Copenhagen during their entire week. They were at Mikkeller Victoria Garden. They were like, this is MBCC.
This is MBCC weekend.
Yeah.
All Oreos MBCC. So like, who had Carlsberg at MBCC?
Exactly. But I don't judge them. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And this leads to the current number of beers this year is, I tried 3,213
Wow.
check-ins.
That's more beers than most people have in 10 years of being an Untapped.
Yeah. And the top ones are Other Half, Three Sons, Björn Guidance Bitter. Wow. I'm not partial at all. Side Project Merlot Bobo American Solera. You brought that one.
I did. Oh, yeah. My brother bought a bunch of beers over this.
Merlot Bobo, Other Half, Boiler, it's those Moxa, those kind of beer.
Yeah.
So a good year in beer. Only went to 2 festivals, really. Those were great.
I went to one.
Which one?
Callas.
Oh, right.
So Olben is a small brewery in Copenhagen, and they have a tap room, and they put on their own little beer festival. And it was a small little beer festival, but it was still like 50 beers to try in the afternoon. It was really a lot of fun. And they had this little scorecard, so you could go through and tick the beers you had tried, and you could, of course, the downside was 2 of the beers were just like descriptors and not like the names. So then you had to go back later and try to figure out, like, match the descriptor. So one of the Mikkeller beers was a Gueuze that didn't have a name, but it was like, it's this, and this, and this is the ABV. And you're like, oh, well, I can just go to Mikkeller beers, filter on Gueuze, and then find the one that has the right ABV. Nope. None of the Gueuzes they had the right ABV. So I think a month went by, and then I checked again, and I'm like, there it is, that's the one. And then there were some other people that had backlogged it in. So, but yeah, it was a real, I mean, I would go again. It wasn't that expensive. It was a fun afternoon. And then we went down to Revolver Rob and some other places and tried some other stuff. And it was a good time. I would recommend, if you're looking for a light, simple festival in the Copenhagen area, definitely worth checking out.
Nice. And Björn, friend of the show, he went to like the Christiania Beer Festival. I think he helped Malmö Brewing serve beer there. I think he also went to like Karlstad Beer. He's better than us at going to beer
a lot more. Yeah. He's always on about.
We should go to more beer festivals, but then life happens and beer happens.
It does. Beer's always happening. That's the great thing about beer. It's always there for you, even when your friends aren't. There's always beer.
But apart from breweries closing, one of the downsides of beer this year is Untapped changing their like core value.
No idea what you're talking about. I can finally check in different types of flavored water and soft drinks. And I mean, what am I going to do with all of these THC sodas? I've just been sitting there waiting to check in.
All of these cannabis drinks that are now also,
I mean,
yeah.
coffee drinks are not going to check themselves in.
But I mean, Coca-Cola Light is now a rateable drink in Untapped.
Did you notice that it's changed from brewers to
drinks
producers?
Yeah. No, brands.
No, drinks producers or places.
Ah, I thought it was brand.
No, that's...
You're right. Drinks producers or places. But if you search for something, a producer. At one point, it was called brands. They changed it even.
It was beers, brands, and place. So not thrilled with that.
It used to be venue. Now it's place.
Yeah.
And they have a setting where you can hide these bullshit things from like your search results, but it only works somewhat good. I don't see it in my feed, but I think that's because everyone I follow is a good person who doesn't dilute the value of the app.
Right. So none of my friends are checking in nonsense Coca-Colas or Starbucks or whatever, or wine or rum drinks or whatever. And none of the local feed has started to, I can't find
That's good.
So in Skåne, at least, where everyone's very committed to the thing. Maybe in the US, it's a different story.
Maybe.
I would imagine.
Because I'll be honest, there is no better app for beer. And people now with this news, people have searched, people have tried. There is no better app. We just need to keep the Coca-Colas and the cannabis drinks out of it, and it will keep being good.
Well, I'm glad you can filter those out. So at least Untapped was smart enough to know they didn't really publicize how to do it.
No.
You kind of had to figure it out for yourself, or, read some message boards or whatever. But the Reddit community was really up in arms around this, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
And I can only imagine that there was a drop in their subscription. I know a lot of people said that they were going to quit paying for the service and just go with the free version.
Yes.
That would not surprise me at all if they saw a drop in their numbers there.
No.
But I think over time they'll probably rebound as people forget or just don't care anymore.
Exactly. If we're being honest, I don't care if anyone else rates these bullshits, but I don't want you put the hammer on the nail. My nearby feed, we use that to find new beers at our favorite places nearby. Because not all of them have these public menus. You need to see what's showing up where. And if that just becomes coffees and sodas, then that feature is useless.
Absolutely.
So me and a few others, we are together driving this support ticket towards Untapped. Okay, you gave us the option to filter out this, but in this case, in this way, I'm still seeing them. I don't want to see them. Let other people do it. And they've been quite sympathetic in their responses, we will look into it, and they seem to be looking into it.
I don't think they can ignore their fan base. You can't just alienate all of the users at one time.
Exactly.
So they have to at least put forward a face that they're going to attempt to do something about it. And then we'll see over time just people become apathetic and not care and get used to it, and we'll move forward on it. Except for you, of course, who will be very diligent about the whole process.
Yeah, but there is no substitute. There is nowhere I can...
Right, because Beer Advocate and Rate Beer, all those places are closed.
Yeah, exactly. Rate Beer doesn't even exist. Right. There is a site called Bruery that all of the Rate Beerians went to, but it is objectively worse than Untapped. You can't even have photos with your check-ins. Come on.
That's ridiculous.
Photos are what makes the feed fun.
Exactly, because then you see location and relevance and
your friends cheering each other with glasses. That's fun.
And one of my favorite things about Untapped and some early interviews I read was there people were like, yeah, we really didn't anticipate people being naked on the app and taking photos. I'm like, that's just on you, man. Come on. You should always like, if someone can post something with a photo, you got to assume there's going to be some dong in there.
And the
boobs. Or boobs. Yeah. They're drunk. They're drinking, cheap Budweisers or whatever. They've had like 20 of them. And they're just like, check out my butt.
What? People are flashing each other when they're drunk? That's so crazy.
Somebody put their beer bottle up their butt and they took a photo of it? Oh, no. Shocker.
Don't do that. It's dangerous.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. But yeah, so that's one of the learnings they had early on was social media is a horrible place.
And you and I have completed another year of the What's On Rehab podcast.
We are deep into year 10, season 10.
Nice.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Well, 2 great beers. Really enjoyed both of these. These are both 4.5s for me. No notes. Quite a great way to end the year.
A lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. So we will call it a year. Let's say goodbye to 2025.
Bye-bye.
And we'll hear you in the new year, next Thursday, 2026.
2026.
Looking forward to it.
It was spooky.
I know. Oh, who knows what's coming?
I don't know.
Based on 2025, it's downhill from here, baby. So you can find us online at What's on Tap Podcast, Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, and wherever you find podcasts, you can find What's on Tap. So until next time,
Keep drinking, you dum-dums.